with record low interest rates, people had money sitting in banks that was doing nothing. They were getting either JobKeeper, JobSeeker, and people couldn't travel anywhere, so they had all this money sitting in their banks, burning a hole in their pocket, and doing absolutely nothing. And what we saw was the biggest transition from people saving money to investing that we've ever seen in history. Now, a question I got asked a lot was what I thought of micro-investing platforms. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't even know what they were until about 6 months ago. There are a few companies that are set up in a way that helps an everyday investor start investing with small amounts of money to try and squash any idea that you need to have an X amount before you can actually start investing. And the two biggest players in that market is Spaceship and Raiz, which previously was called Acorn. So at the end of January 2021, I set up both my Spaceship and Raiz accounts exactly the same way. Deposited $1,000 as an entry deposit, and then I'm transferring an extra $100 fortnightly into each account. I think those numbers are fairly reasonable and something that most people will be able to achieve. So in this video, I just want to quickly talk about the benefits, pros and cons of Spaceship, Raiz, the two different apps, the two different portfolios, and which one you would go for over the other. You know what to do. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all the YouTubey things that YouTubers tell you to do, and let's get on with it. Now, starting with Spaceship, what I do really like about the Spaceship app is it is just so simple and so minimal. There's almost nothing you can do. There's no swipe ups or downs. There's no kind of hidden secret passage that you can get. There's literally a tab at the bottom of the page that has your dashboard, your portfolio, and your account, as well as the option of referring a friend, adding a new portfolio, which I'm going to talk about later because it's quite exciting, and then the super as well as a help option. So there's almost nothing in this app that's worth really, needing a tutorial for. Spaceship have 3 different portfolios to choose from. Their flagship and their default is the universe, which is investing in where the world is going. So all these really high-tech space-related companies, as well as other companies that are going to change the world and be part of our future. Companies that they've listed as examples are Spotify, Microsoft, Square, Apple, and Tesla. There's Origin, which invest in all the really big companies at the moment that are basically doing what they're doing. Their examples again have been Apple, Alphabet, Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway. And then the last and newest kid on the block is Earth, which is a collection of more sustainable green companies trying to better the earth for a better place. You know what I mean. So one major complaint that I had when I first started using the Spaceship app was that you couldn't be part of 2 funds and you couldn't actually change your fund in between your investing. Basically, you had to select it when you first start and then you're set and that's you. I obviously had an issue with that because, for example, if you invested in Earth, that particular portfolio doesn't have Tesla, doesn't have Apple, and doesn't have Amazon. All these companies have massive growth potential and I'm not getting any of the action. Now, Spaceship obviously have heard this feedback, so they've added this new function of adding a separate fund, which I'm taking 100% advantage of. You can have really established companies in one portfolio and then a group of high growth, high risk companies in another, and it's basically the perfect fund setup. The main attraction with Spaceship as an app and platform is really all built into this portfolio. So depending on which portfolio you select with Spaceship, what you'd get is the exact companies that they're holding in that particular portfolio. So I can go down and look at Adobe, for example, which shows their monthly, 6 monthly, yearly, and 5-year, 10-year history of how that company has done as far as the graph goes. Gives me all the stats that I need to see company size, the allocation of how much Adobe stocks they have as part of this particular portfolio, the overall share price, the year highs and year lows, and a basic summary on what the company does and why Spaceship as a fund manager has decided to pick that as part of this particular portfolio. So this is a great start for you to do your own research into these individual companies and whether or not you want to invest more money into them separately outside of the Spaceship app, and really get an understanding of why your particular portfolio has gone up or down on the particular days or particular months. It's a really great feature for anyone who's just starting to invest and wants to get an understanding of how, I guess, the game is played. Now, Raiz, on the other hand, is a bit more of a full-blown, full-service app that has a lot of different functions, and as a company, they've actually partnered up with a lot of different retail stores. So if we open the app, we can have a look. If you are more of a retail shopper, they've got heaps of partnerships with brands like Adidas, Adairs, Air New Zealand, and all sorts of different companies. So if we look at Air New Zealand, for example, if you shop with Air New Zealand, they'll invest 1% of your purchase price back into this account if you shop online through the Raiz app. So say you wanted to go to New Zealand and the flights were $700, then they invest $7 into your rewards points. Essentially what you're getting is you're getting not only a discount off whatever you're purchasing, but that money is going straight into an account where it's been invested to grow. Now, a major highlight with the Raiz app is that it's basically a one-stop shop for everything that you need to do as far as managing your finances goes. There's this function here called My Finances, which not only has like a monthly tracker as far as your expenses goes, it helps you categorize your transactions. You get to see where you've spent most of your money for the last 3 months, and it also basically provides graphs, gives you an idea of how much free cash you really should be able to invest based on how much you input as your income versus your expenses, and really has all these budgeting and investing personal finance functions built into it, which I think is really cool. Now, along with that, what there actually also is, for anyone that's OCD and looking at my main screen where it says that I have an issue that needs to be solved, well, you'll see what that is, and it's actually the roundup function that Raiz has in their app. So the whole idea is that you set up this app, you link it to your bank account, and what it does, basically it rounds up your everyday spendings. Once it reaches a particular target, and it takes that money out of your account and invests it. So you can look at it as almost like a forced savings. For example, you may spend $3.80 on a coffee, and if you've set it up for it to round up to the nearest dollar, then what it will do is it will round it up to $4, take that 20 cents and allocate it to a fund, and once it reaches the allocated number of $5, $10, $20 or $40, it allocates that chunk of money and puts it into your investment fund. So, welcome back guys, and welcome to the new setup. Now, majority of this video was filmed 3 months ago, but because there wasn't really enough volatility in the market, there wasn't really much to show, and so I wanted to wait for another 3 months just to see if there was any fluctuations in the market and how each platform would perform under those market conditions. So the moment of truth is here, and I know this is why most of you guys are here, is to see how each platform has performed over these 6 months. If you've come this far in the video, thank you very much for spending your time with me, and if you haven't already, it helps this video as well as this channel out a lot if you can smash the like button for the YouTube gods. The moment of truth. After putting $1,000 to start and $100 in fortnightly over the last 6 months, my Spaceship account sits at $2,772.78, representing a return of $389.93, or roughly a 15% return on investment, which is pretty damn good. My Raiz account, on the other hand, is sitting at $2,505.71, representing a total return on investment of $105.71. The Raiz return realistically is 4.26%, and if we take into the fact that there's a $3 monthly fee with the Raiz platform, then that return is even lower. This really shouldn't come as a surprise because Raiz is essentially a portfolio made up of numerous indexes, bonds, as well as cash holdings, which means that any fluctuations in the market are seen a lot less in that overall portfolio. Spaceship, on the other hand, is a portfolio made up of individual stocks. So when the stocks fluctuate in pricing, the Spaceship portfolio sees those percentage changes in a much higher effect than the diluted version of what Raiz sees. 2 months ago in the month of May, we did see a fairly large tech sell-off, and as a result, my Spaceship portfolio nosedived. The gap between the two got bigger and bigger as the tech stocks sank, and Raiz, with its well-diversified platform, never actually went into the negatives. The month of May was probably the perfect example of how these two different platforms react to volatility in the market. So my personal opinion is, if you are looking to become a full-fledged investor and you want to sit down and do analysis on companies, and you want to be able to go up to your friend and tell them about a company and say, I told you so, then Spaceship is probably the micro investing app that you want to use, because it's set up in a way where it's kind of that first step into investing. It's showing you the exact portfolio of what they're holding, giving you a realistic target to see what it looks like to manage a fund where you have things go up 30% but other things go down 30%, and to continually invest even under those circumstances, which is something that a lot of beginner investors get scared of when they first see any signs of like a red value. On the other hand, if you're looking at more of a do-it-all app that has kind of investing as its core foundations but a lot of side quests, if you will, then the Raiz app is actually really good and helps you not only manage your finances but forces you to save and gives you all the analytics and all the feedback as to how your spending habits are and whether or not you can start changing them to be a better investor. Anyway, I hope that video was helpful for you guys. If you are looking to start investing, I believe these two apps are actually great places to start. If you guys are interested in starting to invest with either of these apps, I have a referral link in my video description, and it'll be amazing if you use that, because I get free money and you get free money and everyone loves free money. And see you guys in the next video.